Mighty Radio.
Welcome, everyone. This is 5RoundMMA. My name is Alex Maris. Alongside me is my co-host, Albert Tita, in studio. Was it pouring back a cold one right now?
Yeah,
and then,
it's my latest fine day blazer.
Day blazer. Wow.
You get a 6-pack for $6 or a 15-pack for $15.
Yeah, Albert's slowly becoming an alcoholic, by the way.
If you haven't noticed on the podcast.
Yeah, then also on the phone, East Coast, hopefully throwing back some more cold ones is Mr. Guillermo Cito from Orlando, Florida. Guillermo, how's it going?
I'm here watching PJ Masks with the kids.
What did you say?
You're watching what?
Right here.
Oh, okay. I'm throwing back some water in case you want to know what I'm drinking today.
Okay. It's no day drinking anymore over here. It's up Monday working now.
Gotta hydrate. Today's show, we are about, depends if you listen to it, we're at least right now about 5 to 6 days removed, or 6 days prior. So the countdown began 6 days until the biggest fight in combat sports history, Mayweather versus McGregor, the boxing match, 8-ounce gloves, all that good stuff. We'll talk about that later on the show. But I figured, you know what? Let's stay true to our name, mixed martial arts, 5-round MMA. Let's talk about MMA this round, or this entire show, except for the last round. We'll talk about the Mayweather, McGregor. We have to. Albert, timer started, please. Round number one. I am completely stumbling over my words today. I don't know why. Hopefully I'll clean up after the once we get going.
All right.
Good. Round number one.
It started.
So, JDS, former heavyweight champion of the UFC, has been flagged by USADA and has been removed from his bout against Francis Ngannou, the Predator, before potential failed drug tests. A rep for JDS says that it was a diuretic that popped him, and that they're looking into it. Could be even some tainted supplements that JDS not knowingly took these.
They threw in some steroids by accident.
I guess so. But what I ask you guys here is, I personally think, my opinion is JDS is kind of washed up at 31 or however old he is, washed up at 33. I don't really see the UFC even investing in more in this guy. But I guess they kind of have to because, the heavyweight division is super thin. Am I wrong in thinking that the UFC should no longer invest in JDS? Cameron, you want to go first?
No, I'm going to let Albert talk on this.
Good, because you're breaking up all over the place, bro. Honestly, the heavyweight division's too thin to let him go. It's too thin now to promote him, and it's too thin, especially when you have an established name. I mean, for crying out loud, the guy was in the first Fox show.
Yeah.
So he has a long run as far as the fans knowing who he is, and as far as being in the mainstream media because, Fox is a nationalized televised station. So with that said, it's kind of hard not to. I think there's going to be one of those things like Overeem, serve your suspension, whatever it is, and come on back because there's not many heavyweights that they got.
Yeah, his bout was scheduled to be UFC 215 on August 10th against Francis Ngannou, who was 10-1. JDS is 18-5. But my thing is, this guy hasn't had a significant win streak in forever, Guillermo. I mean, he's also wins and losses. I mean, I don't see what the appeal. Yeah, he has a name, but this is a big, high-profile fight, I guess, for Francis Ngannou because it's a chance to fight a former heavyweight champion. And if Francis would have knocked him out, that's like a big step forward. But how do you continue to invest money on this guy and put him on the posters if you're the UFC?
I totally agree with you, Alex. Now, Junior Dos Santos doesn't deserve to be in the UFC. He should probably retire at this point. I think all the damage that this guy has taken, I mean, again, we don't know what he's taking, but the fact that he's taking something tainted, that says a lot. Even for Brock Lesnar, because if you think about Brock Lesnar being found taking something against I think he's trying, he can't compete in this division. This division is, I mean, if you talk about Cyber Miocic, there's not a lot of guys. Now you're talking about Francis Ngannou. This guy's a beast. So does JDS try to find his whatever advantage he can get? Of course. I mean, to me, it's crazy for someone to be somewhat.
I hate to interrupt you, Guillermo, but you're breaking up all over the place here.
What I got there was look at Brock Lesnar. I mean, he's a freak. Obviously, to get
let me summarize. He was going the opposite of whatever I said.
Yeah. But
go ahead and just call back, Guillermo. We'll pick you up mid through round
can you
here.
hear me now?
Oh, there we go.
Perfect,
now we can hear you.
Keep going.
Okay, what I was saying is that the fact that JDS is using some type of advantage shows that he doesn't deserve to be competing whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, just to make 265, that's very lenient.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about 265 to 206 or 207 if you really think about it. From 207 to 265, that is very lenient. And for this guy to be taking something, even if it's tainted, and it proved with Brock Lesnar that he wasn't able to compete with the top heavyweights in that weight class, that he has to take something. Shows that he does not only belong in the UFC, he probably needs to retire.
You know what raises my flags, and maybe that's something I can ask when next time we have an interview, maybe that's something we can question or ask. When you get to this high caliber as far as sports, when you're this high of an athlete, why even take the risk and take these other supplements? Why don't you just keep it basic and just take the basic supplements, which I don't get. I mean, again, I'm not high. There is no way I'm like that level of athleticism. So I don't even know what you have to take to maintain that type of. Back to what I was saying.
What were you saying? Okay, I want to bring up the point too. Okay, so his rep says it was a diuretic he tested positive for, kind of flagged it, but never. I don't remember hearing people, because it's kind of a brag, right? Brock Lesnar has it cut down for 265. Alice Overeem has it cut down when he was prior to testing. He had it cut down at 265. Antonio Silva, Bigfoot, has it cut down to 265. I don't ever remember once hearing that about JDS behind him to cut down to make 265. So why is he making a diuretic to cut weight for heavyweight? I mean, this just smells kind of fishy to me. But again, I don't know anything about drastic weight cuts. Obviously, if you just take a look at us, so I'm not going to say what needs to be taken. Like, obviously about the supplements and why risk it. But I just kind of feel like why. I think he walk around like 240, or he comes in like a 240, 245, has no problem making weight at all. Why is it now all of a sudden he's making these diuretics where he can make sure he's
under he's also an older fighter, so
I don't know. But if I'm the UFC, I'm like, you know what? We'll just put you on the Fight Pass cards. We're not going to promote you in co-main events or main events, because I think, one, you're not going to get with the JDS of old, and two, I mean, if you're going to continue this, if this is going to start as something new where we're constantly watching your drug tests, then what's the point of putting time in you and investing in the former champion? It was only a couple years ago, guys. Remember when it was Cain Velasquez and JDS, top of the world? Yeah. And now both of them are like just former shells of themselves, I think. I mean, Cain Velasquez still has a little bit left to prove, but as far as JDS goes, man, I think this guy's kind of just done. He was done at 31, 32, so that's just my opinion. But get my final thoughts?
No, my final thoughts is the person that hurts the most is Ngannou. Ngannou is on the rise, and a name like Junior Dos Santos would have shot him up to number one contendership. And now what do? You go back to the drawing board with Ngannou, and who can fit in short notice? That's notable name. And second, is it worthy of a name of Junior Dos Santos, even if it's short notice? So to me, that's the most disappointing thing. And if I'm Dana White, I'm beyond furious, because you have a potential star in the making. Especially, we know that heavyweight division sells, and you're having a guy being kind of slowed down a little bit because someone decides to take some type of diuretic drug that might be tainted.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see. Ngannou was calling out Alice Overeem, but I think Overeem's kind of a little bit in the medical suspension phase, but we'll see what's up next for Ngannou. We're going to come back and talk about more heavyweights in round number 2. But before we do, let's talk about 5 Rounds. Clothing line 5 Rounds offers a unique collection of apparel and accessories by incorporating the culture, style, and attitude of mixed martial arts. They are constantly evolving and improving to become the best fightwear company in the MMA world. Check out their line of t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and other great accessories at FiveRounds.net. That's FiveRounds.net, the number 5Rounds.net. Follow them on Twitter at 5RoundsWear and on Instagram at 5Rounds_. Get it on. Round 2 coming up next. Welcome back. Time for round number 2. So if you guys have been listening to this podcast since like the beginning, or just for a while, our previous format was kind of all over the place. We just kind of free fall it. We play some games. Well, let's go back to one of my favorite games. It was Mr. Matchmaker. It was when the UFC and other MMA would announce a bunch of upcoming fights, and I'd ask Albert and Guillermo's opinion about, do you like this matchup, do you not like this matchup, or you do not care about this matchup. So the three options there. So
if I remember correctly, Guillermo was a bunch of I don't cares.
I think I don't care.
Oh, okay.
The next 3 rounds we're going to kind of play a little bit of Mr. Matchmaker. So this round number 2. Let's talk about Mr. Matchmaker for the upcoming heavyweight bout, rumored UFC 216 between the Black Beast, Derek Lewis, against Fabricio Verdum. Albert, let me get your opinion. Do you love it, hate it, don't care about this matchup?
I like it.
You like it?
I like it. I need to be sold on it. I need to see some promotion on it.
Okay. Guillermo, Fabricio Verdum versus Derek Lewis, UFC 216, T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada, October 7th. Proposed date. Do you love it, hate it, don't care about it?
I hate it.
Okay, why?
Whoa.
Why?
I hate it because both these guys are coming off losses. That's one.
That's why I need to see
Two,
the promotion. That's why I think, Guillermo,
Okay.
after you see the embeddeds in the promotion, I think it might get you hyped up. That's why I kind of
maybe
like
might
it.
get me hyped up, but how do you give
It's not like they're giving him a
reward.
title shot, or this
no,
is a
but
title
it seems like
eliminator.
a
I mean,
reward
it's,
for both Derek Lewis and Verdum when they both came off or coming off losses. Second of all, have you looked at the rankings, bro? They haven't updated the heavyweight rankings in a long time, because the last time I checked, when they promoted this fight on Instagram, because I follow the UFC there, it said that Fabricio Verdum is ranked number 2. So who's ranked number 1?
I think JDS.
JDS.
Or Cain Velasquez.
See? How is that possible? Verdum just lost to Alistair Overeem. Overeem should be ranked number 2.
Yeah.
Whether
We've
he's
been over
active or
this
not.
crazy heavyweight division, Guillermo, where
Yeah.
everyone has beat everyone and
I hate
everyone
it,
has
Albert. I
won
hate it.
everyone. Or beat
I hate it.
everyone,
Yeah.
I should say.
This is like watching Serena Williams or Venus Williams losing round 1 of the
Come on.
Wimbledon or something.
Well, personally, I love it because, one, it gets the Black Beast out of retirement, who said he was going to retire after losing to Mark Hunt. And then, 2, I like it because Mark Hunt was really pissed off when this fight was announced. He called out Verdum.
Also, Overeem
Thank
is
you.
the number 1 ranked fighter right now in heavyweight
Was
division.
it Mark Hunt publicly called out Verdum on social media, saying, "Hey, I thought you didn't want to fight. My team wanted to reached out or like said we want Verdum next, and you said no. And now the UFC is going to pitch you up with Derek Lewis, which could be a little more attractive bout for Verdum, especially because Derek Lewis has been. We all know his affection for Ronda Rousey has no limits, especially during. So
That's one way to put it.
So it could be a little bit of high profile fight for Verdum here. Maybe a win for him gets him back in the top 3, top 2.
Which is bullcrap.
I mean, come on. The Derek Lewis. I mean, he wins. He's
even for-
entertaining. He loses. Entertaining.
Thank you. At least Mark Hunt sees what I see. This is a bunch of baloney, man. This is the worst fight ever announced.
Come
in the
on. Well, we
heavyweight
have some other
division.
ones you might want to wait. We got a couple
And
ones
here we go.
You might want to wait, but come on. I mean, Derek Lewis is probably one of honestly the most entertaining heavyweight right now. I mean, because his smack talk is parallel to none. Stipe Miocic, who
He just a quick, and in social, he had a video of his like son like cutting his hair. That was pretty funny.
yeah, I mean, because Stipe Miocic, he's a great real champion, but he comes across as kind of corny sometimes. Derek Lewis just keeps it cool and keeps it real, super hilarious. And come on now, we all love Ronda Rousey. This guy just more open about it to everybody else. And Verdum, I've been over this guy for a while now. I think he looks super soft against JDS, and I think that showed. In his,
You know what this proves to me, Alex?
What's
is
up?
that Mark Hunt should get the next title shot at the heavyweight division.
I'm not even denying that. I mean, I'm not going to hit on that because that's kind of true. Actually, Mark Hunt just got announced too to fight in Australia again, so I think they're kind of keeping Mark Hunt on the UFC on Fox and Fight Pass cards just to get those seats in Australia filled out for him because he's super over there. But I mean, again, this is at Albert's point. This is basically a carousel in the heavyweight division. Everybody's going to fight everybody, and
And everybody has a win over everybody. That's the mind blowing part. Like you can't really make
Yeah,
a
but-
debate in the heavyweight division. 'Cause
Also, too, yeah.
so and so
This is a
beat
joke, Albert.
so
You
and so,
coming
and
off
also
a
lost to
loss,
so and so.
Also, too, Guillermo, too, the UFC's down 2 heavyweights, whether you like it or not. I mean, Roy Nelson was a factor in that division. So was Frank Mir. I mean, at least there were names that people could put against each other,
Come
and they're both are gone to Bellator.
You guys gotta be freaking joking me. You guys are the number one people that said that these guys should be freaking cut or fired from the UFC, and yet now you guys are missing these two guys. Get out of here.
Well, absence make the heart go fonder, and when you take a while, it's like you know when we play Jenga, you take the two pieces out because it comes all wobbly. Well, you take out Frank Mir and Roy Nelson, this heavyweight tower becomes very very wobbly, and I think Stefan Struve's on his way back too. Actually,
Really?
coming up.
Really?
Really?
You guys wouldn't even tune in to watch those fights on prelims. Come
Well,
on.
I mean, I'm not saying
You
that.
guys
I'm
are
just saying on
jokes.
paper wise for matchups, right, Albert?
All we're saying is on paper, bro. That's all we saying.
That's it for round number 2. We got more Mr. Matchmaker coming up. Before we talk about Mobilitas mobility tools, the best mobility tools on the planet, durable, portable, manufacturer release products designed with more grip to help you improve performance and recover faster. Visit yourjointshouldn't for more information and see all the great lines of products. They're on Instagram at Mobilitas, like I'm on Facebook, and visit youtube.com/yourjointshouldn't for great tutorials on how to stay healthy and get the best workout possible. Round 3 coming up next. Welcome back. Time for round number 3. Mr. Matchmaker continues. Guys, I want your thoughts on this big time. Well, you might not think it's a big time matchup, but a welterweight bout was just announced. Jorge Gamebred Masvidal
Say that again.
Jorge Masvidal.
What's his nickname?
Gamebred.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I guess. Against former 2-time title contender challenger Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Albert, love it, hate it, don't care about it.
I love it, but for the wrong reasons.
Why?
I love it just because I want the George Masvidal train to end already. I want it to get derailed.
Yeah.
It gets me mad that people are trying to build the next Diaz brother here with Jorge. It's kind of annoying because I tell people all the time, like, bro, he lost to Benson Henderson, who was, in all due respect to Benson Henderson, who was a former 155 champion, he lost against a guy that wasn't even in the weight class. And everyone's hyping him up because he had to win over Cerrone. But everybody knows that Cerrone doesn't come through when it's a huge fight. And that fight was put up there as far as if Cerrone can win, he might get a title shot.
Yeah.
So with that said, I'm not bought into George. I still haven't bought into George, and I kind of hope that Wonderboy kind of stops it.
Guillermo, Wonderboy versus Jorge Masvidal, projected date for UFC 217, November 4th, against Stephen Thompson. Love it, hate it, don't care about it.
So before I give you my answer, it's not going to change my opinion to the answer. What's George Masvidal's last 3-fight win streak, or 3 fights, Albert? I know you have Wikipedia out.
I can tell you, he lost to
for it.
Damian Maia, split decision. He defeated Donald Cerrone TKO in the second round. He had that weird win over Jake Ellenberger. Remember, Ellenberger got his foot caught at the bottom of the cage, and they still gave him a TKO win over that one. And then prior to that, he defeated Ross Pearson, who I thought was a lightweight. Against the decision, but before that, Guillermo, he lost to Lorenz Larkin and Benson Harrison, both decision losses. So,
Okay, that doesn't change anything. I just want to make sure the fans understood where Masvidal is in all this. So, first of all, I hate this matchup because one is what does any guy have to deal with a win? Because Albert's gonna say, well, if Stephen Wonderboy Thompson wins, he's gonna get a title shot.
No,
Stephen
that's
Wonderboy
the opposite. I'm gonna say
Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
he's still a top
that
fighter though.
One, he doesn't sell tickets. One of
Wow.
all. Second of all,
half of that belongs to
that
Tyron
his
Woodley, bro.
fighting style is beyond boring and really not effective against a guy like Tyron Woodley that's the most boring guy in the UFC, and it's been proven by Dana White. So if that's the case against Tyron Woodley, what can you do from an elite wrestler? Can you imagine GSP ever came down to the welterweight division?
Oh no, he'll
GSP
destroy
would
his
do numbers
division.
around
That's not here nor
Stephen
there.
Wonderboy Thompson.
Thank you guys.
Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is given too much credit by FiveRoundMMA, especially Albert Cita, and he is like a little less than Machida.
In
ever
all
was,
honesty, I had him
because at
winning
least
both
Machida
fights
was
against
champion.
Tyron Woodley.
Obviously,
And I don't.
Guillermo,
I had obviously Tyron Woodley won.
you underestimate the impact Karate Kid had on our childhoods. 'Cause
Exactly.
The karate style is pretty cool, and see a
And so
guy
then
implement the
you guys
karate style in the
based
octagon is
It's
pretty
probably
cool.
the awesome thing.
You guys
yeah.
based
It's like a
your-
video game.
your
Guillermo
viewing
hates
of a
because
fight
I have
on
this
karate.
this
That's
epic picture
embarrassing.
of Halloween where I dress like Wolverine, doing the most beautiful side kick in the world, perfectly parallel, 90 degrees. And Guillermo's just a hater because he knows he would never kick like that in his life.
Hey,
And he was a soccer player.
Here's the thing is, but here's the thing is that sidekick would have got me to the chest, not to my chin. So it would have proved worthless.
Hey, speaking of a game bred, Jorge Masvidal, you guys see that video on the internet of him like doing backyard fighting when he was like a teenager?
Yeah, I saw a couple because I think he was raised in Florida, and in Florida is like a huge. I mean, that's where Kimbo Slice made his name with that backyard fighting.
Yeah,
and I saw a couple of his fights in the backyard game. Wow. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think people. Okay, I get the whole reason why people get behind Diaz, the people get behind George. This this tough mentality. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I get it, and I think that's cool and respect to that. But at the same time, that doesn't translate to someone I feel is really exciting in mixed martial arts, or someone that you should aspire to be in mixed martial arts.
Yeah, it's like the difference between a fighter and like a martial artist, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, like, what I'm trying to say, when we get to this elite level, cream rises to the top.
This actually is kind of a case that you have like a martial artist, quote unquote, as Wonderboy Thompson,
and that's a good way to sell it. Yeah.
Nice clean haircut.
You guys are a joke.
Like a street fighter. Like it's I like it. The martial artist versus a street fighter.
I'll tell you this though, if George Masvidal beats Wonderboy Thompson, I would eat my words and I'll shut up, and I'm the idiot. All right.
You are an idiot. These guys are elite martial artists. If you look at their training session, it's not street fighting out in the back. It's jiu-jitsu and being a ultimate mixed martial artist. Just because.
And this is why I can't have an argument with people that are actual like athletes, bro. Because you guys don't get it. I've been a spectator my whole life. You guys don't understand what I see. I see the difference between an elite person and someone that can just be like an athlete.
Thompson is not elite because he's not the champion.
Phil Jackson is the best coach in NBA for a reason.
Professional watcher right here. Mm-hmm. Speaking of that fight, you remember his Masvidal had like a horrible haircut. He's like tapered like in the front, like he's lined up.
So now you are basing his appearance to his fighting skills.
No, but in that fight video in Florida, when he was a kid, he was all lined up and tapered, but had a ponytail. Is that the Puerto Rican style you talk about all the time in Florida again?
That's dope, man. That's dope. What do you guys know about hairstyles?
Nothing, obviously.
Last time I checked, didn't Albert have a sideways ponytail at one point?
That's called Jedi braid, bro. First of all, if you're gonna insult me,
he did have a Jedi braid. Those are earned, bro.
Different from a ponytail.
You got because you have to earn the Jedi braid, bro.
You can't just give it. I'm telling you, Albert.
How did you earn it, Albert?
You get to earn those braids. You can't just give yourself one. I think that's it for round number 3.
Like all the listeners can point out, Albert's talking out of his butt. Like always.
Anyways, we got that Dragon Ball Z haircut coming next, right, Albert?
Yeah, Vegeta style, homie.
That's it for round number 3. We're going to come back and continue this Mr. Matchmaker. We're taking a break now. We'll come back into the championship rounds. But before we do that, let's talk about Redemption Martial Arts. The RMMA Foundation is a non-profit organization with the primary goal of bringing awareness to the bullying epidemic and providing people with accessible training and resources to help them combat bullying confrontations. Team RMMA consists of individuals from all walks of life who share a common passion for making a difference and serving as anti-bullying activists. If you're interested in becoming a member of Team RMMA or want more information, visit redemptionmartialarts.com, and they're also on all forms of social media. Championship rounds coming up next. All right, welcome back. Mr. Matchmaker continues, and this one goes out to our good friend Jason Hendricks of the Dos Leprechauns podcast, because Diego the Nightmare Sanchez is returning against some guy named Matt Brown. And all I know,
I think I've heard of him.
Wow.
All I know is that Diego Sanchez,
is the cream of the crop.
He had kind of a cryptic type of tweet, or post, like before this fight was announced. He says, I'm going to go back to 170 or something like that, and like this is where I belong, and I'm going to do what I have to do. Or it was kind of a fruition, a foretelling of the what happened.
I said I couldn't disagree with Albert Moore. I mean,
let me tackle this one first, Guillermo.
Love it, hate it, don't care about it.
First of all, love it.
Okay,
love it, because we get two guys that are in the same part of their career, I think, where they're both holding on and they really need to keep winning in order to move forward. So I love it because and they're both gonna stand up and not do strategy. Everybody knows you do strategy on Diego, you might win.
Yeah.
But with that said,
you might win. You always win.
Well, it depends who the judges are.
Let me just say something real quick, Irma, and then you can have the whole floor to yourself. All I want to say is, like, going back to what I said about all the people that get, that like Diaz and George Masvidal, I get it. But you guys don't get why I love Diego Sanchez, man. That like, that's what I'm talking about. People are like these brothers don't care. You know who really doesn't care? Diego Sanchez don't care. That guy is a brawler, homie. If I ever go to war, I ain't gonna pick up Machida. I'm gonna pick up Diego Sanchez, bro, because he goes to war, homie. And with that said, I would always be Diego Sanchez side. I will always be a Diego Sanchez fan. I love the fight. He can fight against a broom just like Kenny Omega, and I'll still pay and watch it.
Guillermo, Sanchez versus Matt Brown. Love it, hate it, don't care?
I hate it. First of all, Diego Sanchez should be already retired, first of all. I don't know how the hell this guy...
Same thing. Matt Brown should be already retired as well.
Matt Brown...
If we're going to make that argument, both guys should be retired.
Matt Brown was coming off a legitimate
Matt Brown
run.
is now a highlight reel, bro. He gave Don Cerrone probably the best knockout of the year.
Dude, okay, for Matt Brown, his record... He's only 4 wins over 500. His record is 20-16.
See, Guillermo? And you're talking about retirement. Both these guys need to go to retirement. So if you're going to make the argument, it's both of them.
So last time I checked, Diego Sanchez was like on a 4-5 loss win streak. At least Matt Brown has some
he actually won. He actually has a win-loss, bro.
Diego does, yeah.
Who?
Diego Sanchez.
Who?
Believe it.
He beat Marcin Held by decision.
Who? Who?
You heard? Marcin Held.
And then he actually...
The tough Marcin Held.
And then he just lost to Raging Al in Quinta UFC.
Look at that.
Back in April.
Look, Marcin Held is 22-6. He's a legit opponent. Does he have 3 straight losses since losing to Diego Sanchez? Yes. But that's not here nor there.
And then
I swear, if this match doesn't have some type of incentive of the loser retires, quits, fired, I am not watching this fight. This
that's what I'm hoping for. I love it just for that fact. Loser goes home.
Loser goes to
Bellator. To a title run whatsoever.
Okay, we got 2 more. We got 2 more. Lyoto Machida versus Derek Brunson. This is Machida's first fight back.
Another one?
Since being suspended, right?
Yeah. Yeah, after he did the respectable thing and reported himself for taking something that he was unaware that became banned the following year.
So, Guillermo, love it, hate it, don't care. Machida versus Derek Brunson.
Dude, I hate it with the passion. If there's no implication of retirement, fired, get me out of this watching this fight. Like, seriously, this is a joke, man.
I like it.
These fights are jokes.
Look, Derek Brunson was at one point a title contender. And he hit a rough patch, but he's still in the top 10.
Guillermo keeps getting caught off. Actually, from reports, Guillermo, look at this one. Reports are saying that Machida versus Brunson is going to headline the Sao Paulo card in October. UFC Fight
The
Night.
Return of the Dragon, dog.
The only thing that gets everybody going is the name. But dude, to be honest with you, where is the up and rising light heavyweights that can use these guys as building stones? That's what they really need to do.
First of all, this is a middleweight, bro.
Middleweight doesn't matter.
Look, listen. Machida can defeat Michael Bisping, and I'll take that to the bank.
Yeah.
Anybody want to go dollar for dollar for me? I'll bet you. Michael Bisping will lose to Lyoto Machida any day of the week, bro.
Didn't he already? I thought he did.
No, they never fought.
You were talking
and
about
with that said, let me tell you something, Guillermo.
Michael Bisping.
You ever heard of a little show called Dragon Ball Z?
No, man, I'm not gonna
Listen. When they announced Dragon Ball Z Kai was coming back to Cartoon Network, it was all over the market. And that's the same thing with Machida. When the Brazilians heard that the Dragon will return, that's a sellout. That's a sellout crowd. So I love it for all those reasons.
This is why we lose listeners, Albert. This does not relate whatsoever.
So we got one more. I thought this was kind of funny. We got one more. Okay. Felice Herrig versus Cortney Casey. I thought this was funny because Felice Herring is always asking for big high-profile fights from the UFC.
And they did the opposite.
And this is coming off to her. Remember, she had that rant about not being promoted right because she doesn't feel young enough, or the UFC she feels the UFC doesn't see her as being young enough or pretty enough to promote over Paige Van Zandt, Michelle Watterson.
Now she should do the speech.
Yeah.
Not before. Now
she's getting Courtney Casey, who's coming off of a win, but not exactly the most highest-profile strawweight they have on the roster. Great fighter, but still, it's kind of like Felice Herring just running in circles now. I think Sean Shelby's probably doing it on purpose.
Yeah, in all honesty, I don't care about this bout, but to tell you the truth, it's on her. She should have known what she had before she said it. I mean, she literally fought all the most high-profile fighters in that division. How are you going to say that the UFC doesn't push you or put you in. You got chances to be all the poster childs of UFC. You could have been the face of UFC if you were just won against every single opponent they put you against you. If you would have beat Paige Van Zandt, you would have been the face. If you would have been the karate, I mean, she literally got matched up with the cream of the crop of that division, and I think now she gets what she asked for.
Well, she did beat Alexa Grassau, remember?
Do you love it or hate it?
That's my girl, too. I don't care. Remember, that's one of the options. I don't care.
Garrett, what about you? Love it, hate it, don't care?
I love it. So it's funny because last week Albert was talking about how boxing protects its own fighters and stuff like that. I have a feeling the UFC is protecting Herrig a little bit because now you know you're building up a story.
How they protect her? She just went through the toughest.
Albert, for a
fighters.
guy that loves.
It's like saying Canelo fought all these major fighters, and then now they're gonna build up his record.
So basically, for a guy that loves storylines, a legit reason to watch, you have a girl that complained about being too old, too ugly, and not getting the push from the UFC, and yet still. Can you imagine if Herrig wins this fight, and then, again?
Why does it matter? It's against a nobody. Okay, I take that back. Not a nobody, but it isn't the
unknown fighter.
It's an unknown fighter, and it's not in the top 5 that she previously had matchups with.
But it builds that story, Albert. It builds a reason for the fans to watch.
She already fought the top 5. She already fought them. We're way over this round, just to let you know.
Okay.
But I'm just letting you know that she already had what she was asking for.
Yeah.
So it makes no sense why she went on that round.
That's why I brought it to attention. I thought it was kind of weird that she kind of put the UFC on blast, and now they're kind of not giving her the highest of profile. No disrespect to Cortney Casey Sanchez at all, but I mean, Felice Herrig was.
She's not in the top 5. It's that easy. Yeah. She's not ranked in the top 5.
So that's it for round number 4. We got one more coming up, and it had to happen. The biggest fight of the combat sports history. We're going to talk about it coming up next. Before we do, let's talk about FightBookMMA.com, the only place where you'll find real combat sports news from all over the world. A website you can trust with accurate news from MMA, kickboxing, boxing. It's all there under one roof. They cover it all: UFC, Bellator, King of the Cage, Golden Boy Promotions. It's all there. That's a great podcast section with a great collection of podcasts, MMA combat sports podcasts. Find them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. But of course, bookmark FightBookMMA.com. 5th and final round coming up next. Gentlemen, it's here. Just days away from when we're recording this.
1 weekend away.
August 26th.
The next time you'll hear our gorgeous voices will be either excitement, sorrow, or I don't know.
Either way.
But the next time you hear us, we would definitely know the winner out of Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, they've announced 8-ounce gloves because Nevada is saying this is a freak show. We're going to continue to put it as a freak show. Guillermo, what are you expecting? What will surprise you in this fight? It's going to be spectacle, right? I mean, you're expecting all of it, the theatrics. What are you looking forward to most on Saturday night?
What I'm looking forward to the most is a finish.
Wow.
The only reason I'm looking for a finish, regardless of who the winner is, I'm always going to be a little bit biased and cheer for McGregor, but I'm looking for a finish because this will shut the door closed. If this goes anywhere near a decision, it would, one, show disappointment for the Mayweather side of things, but also raise more questions on the UFC and the MMA side of it. For Conor McGregor being able to go the distance. I don't want to see a decision whatsoever. I just want to make sure that we get a legitimate finish. Whether our boy gets knocked out or not, I want to see a finish.
Albert, what are you looking forward to most on Saturday?
So this whole episode, if you're watching YouTube, I've been staring at Mystic Mac over here on this magazine. And it's funny. I visualize exactly how it's going to go down. I think he rocks Floyd Mayweather in the first, right? Shocks the world by rocking him. He's not going to finish him in the first. He's going to rock him. He's going to land a clean shot. Everybody's going to be shocked. We're going to the second round. He finishes Floyd Mayweather in the second round. I guarantee. And you have it here, recorded it. So next week, I can brag about how Mystic Matt gave me his powers just for a weekend. And I tell you exactly what's going to happen.
So I want to propose to you guys this. Is there like a little bit of a Rocky moment here where, let's say McGregor loses the bout, like Guillermo says, via finish or via decision. But if there's that one instance, Guillermo, where he actually tags Mayweather pretty hard and actually does a little bit of damage there. Is that victory enough alone for McGregor and the MMA fans and all of his fans, or does McGregor absolutely need a win here? I mean, we all know that everybody's a winner because they're getting paid millions upon millions of dollars. I mean, we're going to give them our money on Saturday. So no matter what, they're both a winner. But let's say in the term of sport and accomplishments, if he just rocks Mayweather, is that a victory in its own?
The fact that if McGregor has at any point in this fight an opportunity to win the fight, is a victory for MMA or McGregor in general. It doesn't matter if he just like stuns them or whatever. I think that's a win altogether, because remember, if you look at the critics, McGregor will not touch Mayweather.
Yeah.
Touch.
This
And
is
the
the same
fact
thing about
that
Polly.
Yeah, so I think just the fact that he stuns him, rocks him, goes the distance, it's a win for McGregor altogether. Whether he gets his hand raised at the end or not, it's no matter what, it's a win.
I will say this. It would be a black eye for boxing and boxing fans if Conor McGregor can rock Floyd Mayweather or goes the distance. Like, even if he wins or loses, goes 12 rounds, it's a black eye for boxing and for those boxing snobs out there. Because, like you said, these snobs, the whole time, Conor's not even going to touch Floyd Mayweather. Not even going to touch him. Not even going to touch him. But then when he touches him, you guys have a black eye. I'm talking about all you boxing snubs. You guys are worse than winos. I'll tell you that right now. You know those people that just drink nothing but wine and supposedly know this. Yeah, exactly. The boxing community is worse than those winos. Trying to throw me that garbage.
Wine aficionados. Winos are something different.
That a combat athlete cannot touch another combat athlete. Get out of here. But it will be a black eye to the sport. It'll be a black eye to those snobs, and I'll be laughing the whole time next week.
Have you guys seen the McGregor challenge when he does the weird warm up where he's like flopping his arms around?
So I tried that the other day. It works. It works good.
All the boxers are kind of doing it in the gym. Like, hey, where can you do the McGregor warm up? And they're all.
I thought McGregor was like double jointed from like the shoulders or elbows or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I haven't tried it yet. But.
Supposedly he dislocates the shoulder and bam, he can do a whip with his punch.
We'll see. May 26th.
I'm double jointed, but I won't tell you guys from what.
August 26th. Mayweather, McGregor, biggest fight of the century, I guess. If you're Dana White, whatever, biggest fight ever.
Numbers don't lie, Alex.
Reigning, defending,
Alex,
blah, 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 blah.
The numbers don't lie.
UFC. I think EA Sports, like UFC is like all McGregor out this whole week. Social media.
They had a boxing match the other day.
The greatest McGregor moments of all time.
They had a boxing match the other day, which was Terrence Crawford, who won 4 titles.
Oh.
The last time someone did this was like back when like Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins fought. They fought for 4 titles. Bernard Hopkins obviously beat De La Hoya. And this hasn't happened like in 11 years, right? No one heard nothing about it. It was supposed to be one of the biggest moments for boxing, just to show you. And I did watch it, and guess what they talked about from time to time and almost at the end?
What?
Conor McGregor versus Mayweather.
Well, hopefully you're talking about us during the week. Until then, till next week, we'll have our post McGregor Mayweather recap show. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. It's FiveRoundMMA. Like us on Facebook. Please subscribe to us and leave comments on Apple Podcasts, Podomatic, and YouTube. And visit FiveRoundMMA.com for all the latest. Albert, what do you got?
SummerSlam's this weekend. Do I care?
It's already happening.
Nope.
It's already happening. I mean,
Doesn't matter. Look, I'd rather do this podcast.
I gotta go. Guillermo.
Well, I was gonna say with SummerSlam, so this is the end of Brock Lesnar. Back to the UFC he goes.
Training camp starts on Monday.
Yeah, and the thing is, I was proven wrong because I thought Baron Corbin was gonna be the new champion.
Man,
they get me good because I
they
thought
trolled
Baron
you,
Corbin.
And who buried him, Guillermo? John Cena.
They must have
Further
heard
proof.
this podcast, bro. They must
Further
have heard
proof.
it because I can read them like a book. So now, regardless, I think Nakamura wins tonight, and we have a new champ. So, oh yeah, the cream of the crop.
You are now listening to Afro Mighty Radio.